really evolved my practice was bringing the isometric contraction, where it's a non-movement but it's strength and flexibility involving, and fascia work, movement, strength and flexibility, into it. It allowed me to open up through a range of motion that wasn't pushing beyond to cause injuries. It allowed me to find a lot more knowledge in my body, understanding the mind-muscle connection. So today we're going to work it through splits and several different variations of exercises, and you're going to just choose your exercises each day, do a few reps. You don't have to do them all in one day. Work on some, and then as you evolve, work on another. I suggest around 10 reps of each, and take your time doing it. Now we're going to start with opening up and doing some fascia work. So the first thing you're going to do is doing some kick work, about 20 reps. I would suggest on this one a little more to warm up. I would also suggest a couple of rounds if you haven't warmed up already. So stepping back, belly button to spine, and from here, open up chest, you're going to kick up, okay? Kick up, okay? Now you're going to find this very big core work. You can see my core activating. That's why soccer players have such strong core. You're going to find cardio workout as well, okay? You might find one foot doesn't go as high, one foot is a little wobbly, okay? That's okay. So you're going to do 10 to 20, I would suggest 20 and 2 to 3 rounds, okay, to start off, okay, unless you're already very warm. This is going to really work into the fascia of your joints. Fascia is so important, it's the scar tissue. It stops a lot of movement, gets a lot of blockages. When we can open it up through a dynamic, safe movement where it's like a rubber band. A lot of the time we do flexibility where we pull the rubber band so much it snaps because we don't understand the movement of our body, or we're working from heat experience and we push too far and later on we feel the snap. Fascial work, on the other hand, allows us to open up, get deeper by just the spring of the band, so the spring of the fascia, rather than overextending. Okay, from there, once you've opened up, I'm just going to open up your hips in a little bit of another way. You're going to kick round, okay? Kick round, just to get movement in your hips, okay? And just to get the rotation, because with splits, it's not just straight movements this way or this way. It does have movement in the ball and socket joint that doesn't just go straight. So be mindful of that. So exactly the same movement. If you need to, hold the wall. So when you rotate round, you can stay taller and not fall over. It might be easier with a chair. I prefer freestanding to work on my balance and core, but it's up to you. So 1, 2, okay? That would be your warm-up. It should have you fairly sufficiently warm. Now this is normally for people that have the splits, but you can still work on it with blocks. Okay, so come down into your splits here, sitting in your splits, okay? From here, I want you to firstly work on straightening your hips. So from going this movement, scissoring your legs together. Once you've got the scissor, I want you to bring your foot back and forward, okay? Just opening up a little bit more dynamically into the splits and making sure your hip is really rotating to the ground, okay? So about 10 reps, and you'll do it each side with each foot forward. Belly button into spine, up nice and tall, rotating through, so we don't want to have this kind of look, okay? You can use your hands or take them up or up, entirely up to you. Now once you've done that, I'm going to ask you to put your back foot down, making sure it's not rotating left or right, scissoring your legs together, hands in the air, and scissoring up. 1, 2. This is really going to scissor your legs together and get the understanding of the strength that's required in splits, not just flexibility. 3. Now, if you need to begin with, working with your hands on the floor or blocks. So if you were a bit higher up, you can still do this exercise and scissor and scissor. You're still going to feel a lot of dynamic power or strength or flexibility opening in this movement. So it'd be exactly the same on the other leg. Okay, so just so you can see on the other side. So not this open position, not this foot waggle this way or that. Bringing your hips down flat as possible. If you want to just open up into it a little more, twist your body. Okay, this will flatten, this will help you to learn to flatten out your hips if you need that. From there, if you're having your foot down, make sure it doesn't rotate again. Firstly, you're doing the ankle flexibility, so point your toes, push them forward, keep that hip going down, up nice and tall, straight forward, bring your foot back, open your toes. 10 repetitions. Then from there, from this position, flat foot and scissoring up, okay? Either here, 10 repetitions, or here, 10 repetitions. Okay, once you've done that, we're going to go into some back leg work. Okay, so from this position where you push your foot firmly into the ground, you're going to squeeze your legs together immensely and lift up your foot. Maybe you can reach back if you're on your flexibility and try and touch it. Okay, you've got to find your foot. I haven't warmed up my flexibility, so if I was doing more deeper practice, I haven't done any today, but I'll try and give you a demo. You'll be lifting up, putting my head back, and bringing my hand back to my foot, and coming down, okay, and back. This is going to really help you to understand how to stabilize yourself through your hips rather than using your hands all the time. So you would do about 10 repetitions just lifting up and down, or going into the deeper if you're more warmed up, and doing it with your head coming back and both hands grabbing your foot, okay? So it's entirely up to you. You're going to have to scissor your legs together and you're going to have to really work at it. Always scissoring through. It's going to really feel good, but very hard. It's actually quite hard to lift your back foot off. And finally, with your flexibility, we're going to utilize a block to start working on the over splits. And this one is fantastic for working on the over splits. But bear in mind, you can have the block on whatever height, but you don't have to come all the way down, okay? You can be up like this. So what it's going to look like once you know your foot can reach the block, you're going to do 10 reps alternating. You're going to lift your leg up, and you're going to come all the way through, okay? Trying not to touch the ground, and then coming down through here to your splits, okay? You might stay up here with straight hips. Coming all the way back and up. And as you come up, kick back, okay? To open up a little more. Coming all the way forward and down and coming all the way up and back. And then it'll be exactly the same on the other side. Kick up with control, coming all the way forward and down, coming all the way back. May need to adjust your foot. Some of you may look like this, coming forward, getting to here, and then a big, with maybe some utilization of the blocks, sucking up and getting on, okay? That might be where you're starting, but over time, you're going to come into this position without stressing. And the same as coming back, you may start here, and then kind of drag off, and then lift it, and then get through. And that's okay too. I started there as well. Over time, you're going to develop that strength and flexibility. And finally, one last dynamic movement. The Kundi Push Out with the splits and toe tap is really fantastic for opening up your hips in a broad range, also for the front splits. So, you're going to do the lift up, you're going to come on forward, toe tap. Suck up into your hip socket and come forward, Kundi push up. Now remember, if you don't have the flexibility, bend your leg. Pushing back up, toe tap, coming down into your splits, okay? And then slowly coming back, toe tap if you can, and lifting up and coming back. So in real time I'll show you bent and then straight, okay? So let's say straight and then bent, it's my automatic go-to, okay? And now bent. Okay, so you can do it bent or straight leg. Now, again, if you're not up to that, what you can do is coming down, coming through, get to wherever you can, okay? Walk your foot out, coming through, do your push-up, bring your foot back wherever it needs to, and then lifting, walking through, slowly coming down, and then lifting up, scissoring your legs together, and then lifting through your hip flexor and your front leg and your core, slowly bringing your leg back. Blocks may help here, or fingertips, and coming back, okay? Trust me, you'll be full body exhausted after this, but you'll be on your way to much stronger and better splits. Finally, just to help into these splits a little bit, you are going to work on hip flexor strength. So the first one I'm going to ask you to work on is leaning back, grabbing your toes, sitting up tall, opening your legs up and pulling them back and just pulsing, okay? Sitting up tall, find your balance. If you can't find your balance, just work on sitting up tall for now, okay? And pulsing, okay, for about 10 repetitions. From there, letting go and seeing if you can hold yourself up is really, really important, okay? After you've tried 10, 30 or 1 minute, have a break, okay? And the last exercise for this one is leaning forward. You can have your hands behind to help you up if you need to, one behind or two behind. But leaning forward, bringing your legs down, your feet down, lifting up, pushing your hip forward, okay? Don't sit back, squeezing your legs into your hip socket, coming up tall, with control, squeezing your legs back down with control, and then coming back and down, sitting up. So from behind, if you need help, it might be more like this, okay? Squeezing in, coming up. The wider your legs go, the harder this will be. Pushing your hips forward, coming down or coming down, okay? Once you've done another 10 reps of that, I want you to open up your legs, okay? Here, come down here into your wide-legged straddle. Okay, it doesn't have to be full, and work on bringing your feet down and then pushing them back up to point to the ceiling. Feet down, pushing back up to point to the ceiling. Okay, it's going to help with the rotation of your hips. And then lifting on up and simply staying here, or even opening up a little more, sitting in a nice deep straddle. So have fun with them. Use your hands to bring your knees together, and may need a little support after all that work. Namaste.